Hi, I'm Heather, and on this channel, I help authors and illustrators create and publish their own children's books. And when you have a children's book that you want to sell, you're going to need to have a really nice cover because that is, of course, the first thing that people are going to see when they look at your children's book. And if your cover isn't interesting, then they'll probably just walk away. And I always see the same mistakes over and over again with cover design, so that's why I decided to make this video. And by the way, this video is going to be about the design of your cover, so making your cover visually appealing. If you need help formatting your cover, making sure it's the correct dimensions, planning for bleed and safe zone, and planning your spine, check out the videos that I will have linked below, which show you how to do that for Amazon KDP and IngramSpark. But in this video, I'm going to be focusing on the design of the cover. I have a few fictional cover designs here, so these aren't actually real covers of real books. They're just ones that I made up so that I could show you the changes that I would make. So let's go ahead and look at the first cover here. As you can see, the name of the book is The Fox and the Tree. We have a nice background here, and we have a little fox and a tree stump and the name of the author. The first thing that I notice right away with this is that the size of the text for the title and the author are exactly the same. And the fox is pretty small too. So these are all kind of the same hierarchy as far as what you should look at first. You have no idea because they're all kind of the same. What you really want is you want the title to be nice and big, so that's the first thing that someone sees. And the author name can be pretty small. So the first thing that I would do for this is actually size the name of the book up. Also, I want you to think about not just having the name in a straight line. Maybe the name does look good in a straight line, that's possible, but you do need to at least consider having it in a different format because there might be a really cool creative way that you can lay out the name of the book. For example, for this one, we could maybe curve the name so that it kind of is round, like the tree stump that the fox is in. I also sometimes like to break up the text into multiple pieces and then kind of arrange them. For example, if I were to take this text and I'll just make a copy of it, and then I will separate out in the, and then I'll make another copy and separate out the word tree. And then this will just be the fox. Now we can actually like play around with these words. And since in the is kind of a less important word with those, sometimes it can look really cool if you make those smaller and then have your other words bigger. Or even if the tree is like this big looming thing that's really important, maybe we make the tree really big. Maybe the tree is, a special tree. And then we have like this, the fox in the tree, like that. That could be a really cool layout. I actually think that looks really cool. Or as I said, you can also have it curved, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'm just gonna undo. And if I take this text and just go to effects, and I can come down here to shape and click curve. And then remember that you can also modify the curve. I see a lot of people just stick with the default curve that it puts, but I would definitely mess around with it and make sure you get the perfect curve for your design. The other thing is that the fox is so small, and I see this all the time in cover designs, that the main subject will be really small. So I would make this really big. I would make it like this big because this is the most important aspect of the cover. And then the author name can just be right on the bottom here, and I think that's really cute. Now the other thing is I see a lot of people just leave the text as black, and I actually would probably want to change that because I just think it's more fun and creative to make the text a color. You just have to be careful and make sure that the text is readable. So I wouldn't want to make this text like green. It really blends in with the background. You could make it a darker green, and that's kind of cute, but I actually would probably want to pull in some of the brown from the tree so that these kind of look like they go together. So I like to use colors to connect elements. So I'm going to grab the color picker here, and I'll grab this dark brown. Now it kind of looks like the text kind of goes together with the tree there. And then for the author name down here, now this is much less important, especially because it's not like a famous author or anything. So for this, I would actually want to make it a color that's kind of a little more toned down. It doesn't stand out right away because we want the fox and the title to grab their attention. So for this, I probably would do green. So I'm just going to go up here to the text color and I will click the eyedropper. And then I'll just grab some green color that is in the illustration here. And as you can see, it is really hard to read, so I am going to make it darker. So I'll go to add a new color, and I'll just pull this down a little bit. Now it still is kind of faded to the back, but you can still easily read it. It just doesn't stand out as much as the other text. And then if you want to get really nitpicky, you could also make sure that there's nice even spacing between the bottom and the top. So I would just kind of move this up a little bit. And now this is nicely centered. Let's go ahead and move down to the next page. Here's a book called The Girl Who Baked with Kindness. The first thing that I notice about this design is that it is just using the default Canva Sans font. And if you watch any of my videos, then you probably know it's a pet peeve of mine when people just use the default font. You got to pick a font. So I would definitely go in here and try to find a font that goes a little bit better with the style of the book. So I'll just pick this one for now. And also, when you have an outline that is super obvious like this one, I don't think it always looks great. I mean, it can look good depending on the situation, but I wouldn't use it as the default. So I'm going to take that off. You'll also see that the background is just way too busy and there's way too much stuff in this background. It makes it visually confusing. You don't know what to look at and you can't read the text because there's all this stuff behind it. That is why I would definitely clean up the background. I would like pull this down and then maybe just put some kind of pattern in the background or something very simple. So I can go over to elements. I can maybe do tile wall since there was originally a tile wall. Also, I wouldn't pick anything with too much contrast. So for example, if we picked like this one, you have a lot of darks and lights, and that's going to make it look way too busy. So instead, I would pick something where everything is kind of in the same tone. So this does not have a lot of contrast. They're all just kind of the same grayish kind of a tone. Of course, I can just duplicate it so that we repeat it here. And then we will need to change the text color. And I would like to grab a color from the image. The only color that's really like fun is this blue color. So I'm going to grab that. I'll just go up here and modify it a little bit. So I'll just make it a little darker and maybe a little brighter. And then of course we want the text to be a lot bigger, and we also want the girl to be a lot bigger. There's no reason why she has to be this small. I would actually make her probably like the entire size of the book, but of course you do want to keep in mind bleed and safe zone. So we could either have her go past the edge of the page like this so it cuts her off, or we do need to keep her inside the safe zone because we don't want to have her head be right next to where the page gets cut off. Then it's going to look like a mistake. So I'd probably have her like this, and then this can be left aligned, and I think that would look really cool. I'll change this to left aligned, and we can make some line breaks. And now this is definitely a situation where I would want to have some of the text smaller and some of it bigger because the title is so many words that I want to kind of lead the eye with the words in the title. So I'm going to take this and duplicate it. And then I'll just break it up into a few different pieces. The girl is the main subject of the story, so we can make that nice and big. The word with, since that's just a little kind of extra word, I like to just make that a little bit smaller. And then kindness can definitely be bigger. So we could do something like this. I do also like to kind of play around with the shapes of the letters. So since some letters kind of stick up or come down, and then there will be natural kind of gaps in the letters, I think it's really fun to kind of fit words together. So like the word with could maybe go next to the D like that in that little nook. But you also have to look at how your eye is being led, because maybe since the word with is over on the right, it might make you want to read it later. So we could also try putting it to the left. So we could do something like that. I think I would maybe actually want her to be a little bit bigger, so I can just have her get kind of cut off on the side there, and then I can pull her up. And then the other fun thing, actually, if you look at this, the shape of her face is kind of aligned with the way the text goes. So if we really take advantage of that, we can make the text go right along the edge of her face. And I just think it's really fun to kind of play around with shapes like that. So I really like something like this because it really puts her in the front there and you really see her. And if you look at where the text is down here, notice how busy it is behind the text. It's always going to be better if you can find a place to put the text that is more of a solid color. So if we just move it over here, it's going to look a lot better. Just remember to keep all your text inside the safe zone. So notice that I have a good amount of margin around all of the text here. And if you watch my videos on how to format the cover, then you'll be able to have your safe zone guide there so you can make sure it stays inside the safe zone. Now we can go down to the next example. For this one, we have a book called Krabby's New Home. And you can see that Krabby is here and he has a sandcastle, and there's a ton of other stuff in the picture. And when you're designing your inside pages, I do think it's good to have a lot of different things that the kids can kind of look at and like ask questions about, and just gives them a reason to keep going back to your book. But on the cover, I do think it's better to keep it much more simple, because you just want them to really see the subject of the book and know what the book is about within like a second's glance. For that reason, I would take out a bunch of this extra stuff. Let's first just focus on making the main elements bigger. So I'm just going to take the home and make it bigger here. And then we want Krabby to be nice and big as well. If we have this big and on the right, then the title, we can have it aligned to the left like we did in the previous design. So I'm going to go ahead and break this up again. And I'll make the text much, much bigger. And then now we can kind of have fun with the placement. I think this is more fun and more creative than just adding line breaks. You can really have fun with this. I think that is cute, but I also would love to change the color of the text to something more fun. And I definitely think it would be really nice to pull in the color of the crab. I'm just going to grab the text here and change the text color. I'll click on the eyedropper, and I'm going to find the darkest red I can find here. And then I do always like to modify the color a little bit. I think it could be maybe a little brighter, so I'll pull it up a little bit. I think that's pretty cute. For a new home, we could make it the same color as the sandcastle. So then Krabby is in red because the crab's red, and new home is in tan because the sandcastle's tan. This isn't always going to work with every design, but with this design, I think it'll work because both of the colors will be able to show up against the background. Another thing that you might notice is the waterline right here. I wouldn't want the text to go right over the waterline. It makes it too hard to read. So I actually would probably want to pull this text down, and then we could have the word Krabby above the waterline. And I think that looks really fun. Now the words new home are a little hard to read because they're light. So one thing that we can do is do a shadow, but you have to be very careful with shadows because you don't want it to look very harsh. You want it to be subtle, and you want people to not even realize that you added a shadow. So you're just doing it to make it easier to read. So if I go over to effects, and I'll go to drop shadow, increase the blur. Also, I'm going to change the color so that it is some variation of the background color. So if I click on this here, then I can click the eyedropper and I'll grab the background color, because since we want the shadow to look subtle and we want it to look like it belongs. And if it's black, that doesn't belong over blue. So then I'm just going to click on add a new color and I'll make it a little darker. So now you can see how much easier it is to read the text with the shadow behind it, but it's not super obvious that there's a shadow behind it. I want to copy this over to the word home. I don't want to have to do all those settings again. So I'm going to click on new, and then I'm going to click the copy style button here, and then I'll click on the word home. So that copied the style over, but it did make the text the same size as the other word as well. So I'm just going to make it bigger. The other thing that I do sometimes, if the shadow that Canva adds to the text isn't enough, then sometimes I'll go over to elements and I'll search for something like blue shadow. And you can find some things here that can be helpful. But you always want to make sure that you lower the transparency when you use one of these. So I'll give you an example. I could maybe use this one and put it behind the word new home. This blue is a little bit different though. The ocean is a little more teal. So I would probably also change this to be more of a teal color. And then I would want to bring down the opacity. You want to bring it down enough that you can barely even tell it's there. So now if you look at it, you would never know that I had added that, but it does make the text pop out a little bit more. Here's without it, and here's with it. We also have the author name down here. We can probably place this in a better spot because right now it looks like it's just in a random spot. We could either put it over here, that would be pretty cute, or we can put it like between the crab's legs here. I actually kind of like it over here though, because then it's kind of like in the sand, and I would definitely change the color to match with the sand better. So I'll go up here to text color, go to the eyedropper, and I'll pick the sand color that it's already on. I'll go to add a new color, and I'm just going to make it darker. I think that looks super cute. And we could probably even make Krabby a little bit bigger. If we wanted to, we could even make him really big so that he's kind of in focus here. I think that that would be super eye-catching, and I think it would really draw people in as soon as they see it. I hope you liked those tips. I also have some other videos on graphic design tips for your children's book and how to create your children's book in Canva, and I will link all of those in the description below. And don't forget to download my free marketing guide and self-publishing checklist. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so I know to make more videos like this. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.